Good morning. I don't know what it is about this new year or new month, and folks, it feels like the first day of school in a way. Everyone's chattering in the back. Welcome. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Welcome, first-timers, to the Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We're a spiritually diverse, justice-seeking religious community with one great aim: to proclaim the power of love at the center of our living tradition. Love for ourselves, love for our neighbor, and love for our planet. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, however you identify, you are welcome here. Whatever faiths you have known, if any, whatever doubts you carry, you are welcome here. I am the Reverend Sara LaWall. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the proud minister of this extraordinary community. I'm joined today by Patricia Heeb, who is serving as our celebrant, and you are in for a treat as you are here for our annual fire communion service, an annual tradition here at the fellowship. It's going to be a great day. Let's take a moment to welcome those of us who are joining us online on Zoom. Give a wave, say hello. Friends on Zoom who are able, we invite you to turn your cameras on so we can see your beautiful faces and welcome you into our space this morning. Good morning, Era. Good morning, Richard. Oh my gosh, it's good to see your faces. Good morning, Mary and Eileen. I love that Hermia has her own Zoom channel. Good morning, Edith and Carol and John. Good morning, Deborah and Clay. It's so good to see everyone. Hermia, in case you don't know, is Nancy's little dog. She's our little mascot here at the fellowship. She's adorable. A special welcome to all of our newcomers who are joining us for the first or second time. We know it takes a lot of courage to check out a new community. We know how needed community is in these times, and we're so glad that you've chosen us this morning. We invite you to introduce yourselves to us after the service during our hospitality time, or in the chat if you're on Zoom, so that we can get to know you and warmly welcome you. We invite you to fill out our newcomer cards in the entryways, and we'll post a link in the chat. And we have a special series for newcomers called Inquirers that will begin at the end of this month. We'll make more announcements about that as we get closer. I do have one large community announcement that I want to make to all of you. Our refugee immigrant ministry team is hosting and sponsoring a beautiful event on Saturday, January 18th from 10 to 1 p.m. called Crossing Bridges, Stories and Discussion of Transformation and Resilience from Our New American Neighbors, together with the Agency for New Americans and other Idaho Office for Refugees. It'll be a beautiful day, and we hope that you come and support that work. And I want to give everyone the reminder that in all of the ways that we show up in those spaces for the communities, particularly those who are most impacted and most marginalized and most in harm's way from this incoming administration, that is how we show up for justice. So I urge you to go and be a part of that and become one of those neighbors for our new American neighbors. Each week we ground and center ourselves and begin our time together by lighting our flaming chalice, the symbol of our free faith, a beacon of hope, love, and justice. As we light our chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you in our virtual community who have a chalice or a candle nearby to light it along with us and share in the chat where it is you have lit your chalice this morning. I invite us all to join together in song, in raising our voices together in the start of this new year for this fire communion service. We're going to sing a very simple chant, Rise Up, O Flame, and I'm going to invite you to sing it seated. We'll have Carrie play it through one time, and then we'll get started, and we'll just go, and you'll you'll see me hold up my fist for the last time, and then we'll just slowly make that our last time together. Let's center ourselves into this space together in song.
We come from and live on land considered sacred by many indigenous peoples, known as Bannock, Shoshone, Paiute, and many other tribes that lived here sustainably for thousands of years, inhabiting a vast region including much of Idaho.
We recognize the long history of the land, long before colonization, and acknowledge the ancient tribes whose names have been lost in history.
With this acknowledgement, we wish to demonstrate our commitment to dismantling the legacies of settler colonialism. We honor Indigenous peoples' connection to the land and support their right to sovereignty.
In the challenges of these truths, may we move through the world bringing justice in every way that we can, listening to the truths spoken to us by Native American peoples, making space for them to re-inhabit this place, and giving them back the resources they need to heal their communities.
We acknowledge the long roots of their ancient histories long before colonization, and with this acknowledgement, we strive to bring justice and reparation in every and any way that we can. As we begin a new month together here, we have a new spiritual theme. January's theme is Living Love Through the Practice of Story. Today's service invites us to consider the story of our own lives and how we might sometimes get stuck in that story or feel controlled by it. But when we take a step back and allow ourselves to see the larger whole of our story and its connection to others and the world, we remember that we have some ability to be the authors of what comes next, to write our next chapter, in hopes that we may also impact the next chapter of that interdependent web of which we are a part. Today, we set ourselves up for that opportunity with our annual fire communion, our ritual of burning that invites us to connect with our story, with our spirit and our inner knowing, with all that we have experienced and carry with us and all the potential that lies before us. And then to consider what might we need to let go of, to clear away, to ritually burn away in order to make space for the next chapter. What are those thoughts, behaviors, ways of being that are not deeply connected to self and aligned with the story we want to write? All are invited to join in our ritual today, even virtually. You'll want to have paper a pen or a pencil, and a tall candle nearby, and maybe a bowl or receptacle as well. And if you don't worry. You just may want to grab a pen of paper to do a bit of writing, and you can burn in spirit or burn here with us at a later time. The beauty of this ritual is that you can do it at any time on your own. You can repeat it throughout the year when you feel the need to mark that letting go of what no longer serves you or us as an interconnected community. So as we enter into this time of worship, I invite us all to take a breath together. Fill your body with breath. Breathe, knowing your breath connects you to one another, to your body, and to our planet. Breath offers us an opportunity for stillness, to let go of all we are carrying, to set it aside for a moment, to tune in to our spiritual center, to listen deeply to our heart's own longing. Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning, thou art the woven whole. Thine be the grace to be steadfast in danger. Thine is the peace that none can destroy. Thine is the face of the need-riven stranger. Thine are the wings of joy. Thou art the deep to the deep in me calling. Thou art a lamp where my feet shall tread. Thy way is steep past the peril of falling. Thou art my daily bread. Thine be the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the sea to each flowing stream. Thine be the days that are gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless stream.
I'm writing a new ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. And though I won't get back a day stolen time, I could go to bed at night with a better storyline. Changed in the past, let the old house burn down and the wind scatter the ash. Forgive myself for all the broken glass, for what I didn't know how to say or ask. I'm writing a new ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. Though I won't get back a day of stolen time, I could go to bed at night with a better storyline. Here's a scene when I lost my map, when the breadcrumbs blew away and there was no way back. Just the compass of my heart to find the path, seen only in the dark. Flashed a lightning flash. I'm writing on an ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. Though I won't get back a day of stolen time, I could go to bed at night with a better storyline. There are stories shaped like stones, the ones our hearts have always known, the ones we finally call our own. Down where the spirit meets the bone. I'm ending where another story starts. At the edges I can grow, even when they're razor sharp. I'm grateful for the words that I bookmarked before I really knew I'd need them for this part. I'm writing a new ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. Though I won't get back a day's stolen time, I could go to bed at night with a better storyline.
Indeed. Our call to worship this morning is from Reverend Gretchen Haley. Whatever you have come in anticipating, whatever you expect or worry for our world, for the future of our lives, let it go. Make space in your heart to be surprised. Make room in your soul for a new story to take shape. Let astonishment be possible at this life that remains a miracle. Imagine here the bursting of joy, relentless and resilient. Come in waves crashing over us with music and story. Silence. And still this dreaming together, being hope for each other, and courage to believe in the new day dawning for us all. Come, let us worship together.
With our promise of building beloved community, we celebrate our commitments to being a multi-generational community, a community of generosity, and a community of care and connection. So in that spirit, I'd like to interrupt our friends in the playground for a moment, invite you to come down front and join me for a story down here for our Time for All Ages. So we're gonna try something new today, and I'm gonna invite you all to sit up here on the chancel space, or your chair. You can bring the chair and sit on the floor in front right here. And look at me and then make sure you can see the screen because there's some pictures. Good morning. Happy New Year, friends. How was your New Year and your holiday? Good? Yeah? It's good to see your faces. I'm so glad you're here. I have a story today by my friend and colleague, the Reverend Chris Buse, and this is called The Beautiful Tiger. And this is a story about how easy it sometimes can be to believe the stories that others tell us about ourselves. Have you ever believed something about yourself just because somebody else said it was true? Yeah, like what? Do you know? Do you remember? Like somebody says maybe you got teased a lot and about how clumsy you are, right? And you just start to believe that about yourself. So sometimes we start to believe things about ourselves just because other people say that. And so let's listen to this story and see what happens to the beautiful tiger. There once was a beautiful and powerful tiger. And one day she was captured by a mean and cruel man who put her in a cage. The man kept the cage in a jungle not far from his house, and every day he would bring a bowl of water and some food for the lonely tiger. And sometimes the tiger would see her own reflection in the bowl of water, and she would say, "Oh my, I must be a beautiful tiger." But when the man heard her say this, he would lie and tell her, "No, you are not a beautiful tiger. You're a very ugly, pitiful creature." Does that look like an ugly, pitiful creature to you up there? No. But sadly, the tiger would believe the man. Some days after she ate her food, she would walk back and forth, pacing in her small cage. She'd feel this energy moving through her body, and she would say, "My, I must be a powerful tiger." But when the man heard her say this, he would lie and tell her, what would he tell her? "You're not powerful. You are weak and puny, you pitiful creature." And sadly, the tiger would believe the man. But then one day the man was nowhere around, and a lion happened to walk by the cage. And the lion saw the tiger inside, and he spoke to her, and he said, "Beautiful, powerful tiger, what are you doing lying about that cage?" And she said to the lion, "Don't make fun of me. I know I am neither beautiful or powerful." "I'm not making fun of you," the lion says. "You are surely the most beautiful, powerful tiger I have ever seen. I'm only surprised to see you lying here, when clearly you are strong enough to break out of that cage." And the tiger said, "You really think I could break out of here?" "Oh, quite easily, I should think," said the lion. The tiger was not sure at first, because she had been told so many times that she was weak and puny and pitiful. But suddenly it seemed that she could feel that energy again that was moving inside her, and that strength in her body, and she began to pace back and forth in her cage almost without thought, and she leapt against the cage door, and it flew open without any resistance. Yes, yay, we can all applaud. But once outside, she looked back at the cage and she said, "That cage didn't even have a lock on it. I spent so much of my life stuck in there, and the door wasn't even locked." And the lion looked at her with soft brown eyes and said, "Those kind of traps don't need locks, because it's the lies we believe in that keep us in our cages. And it is the truth that sets us free. So don't believe the lies that other people tell you that keep you in a cage." But what I love about this story was that it took the truth from a friend, from the lion, for the tiger to recognize it in herself. And sometimes we need those people in our lives, right? We need our lions. Do you have a lion in your life? Yeah, someone who tells you how great you are and how awesome you are and how you can do anything that you put your mind to and how powerful and beautiful and amazing you are. We need those. We need to keep those lions in our lives close to us, because they remind us that there is no cage around us and that we are free to be whomever we are. And I hope that you feel that, especially in this new year. Let that be a lesson to kick off this new year of 2025 for you. We are all together in the service today, in this multi-generational service. And when we do our fire communion, you are invited to come forward and participate with a parent or an adult. So if you don't have a trusted adult, find Travis and he will help you. But I think most of you probably do. So we'll sing our community blessing together, and then you can head back to your seat or the playground or wherever it is you'd like to spend the rest of the service. Thank you for being with me, my lions and tigers. But don't roar too loudly, okay? Okay, just for today. I love that story. That's such a fun and beautiful story, and such a good reminder for all of us who are going into this new year, perhaps with some trepidation and some concerns about how powerful we might actually really be. So let's remember to be lions for one another. When we give, we say yes to the story of generosity, the natural cycle of abundance in our lives. We say yes to building beloved communities within and beyond our walls, and we commit ourselves to do the work of justice and compassion for all people and our earth. Today, we share those gifts with our plate partner, the Agency for New Americans, as an expression of our commitment to living out our faith in the world. The Agency for New Americans is a local agency that helps refugees here in Idaho achieve self-sufficiency in their new lives by providing skills, education, and support necessary during their resettlement period. And here to share a little bit more of the story behind the work that they do is a beautiful video that they used in their November gala featuring John Salehi. Let's take a look.
At first we were thinking that our destination is Los Angeles. But they said, no, your destination is Boise. And I said, where is Boise now? We arrived to Boise. We were almost going down that our case manager with the interpreter arrived there. Welcome to Boise. I said, who are you? They said, I am your case manager. I'm from Agency for New American. After that, she took us to the agency. And everybody in agency said, welcome home. I said, what? And my mom is saying that what they're saying. I said, they're saying welcome home. Means this is your home. So first our mind was that, okay, this building is our home. This is our permanent address. But the concept that they gave us that Idaho is your home. You are not in a third country, or you are not anymore a refugee or something. You are in your home. Believe me, this welcome home released every stress, tensions, everything was gone from our mind. That, oh my God, we are in home, such a nice people. This was the sentence that changed my mind. To be honest, changed my complete life. ANA is not a building, ANA is a home for refugees. This is a mindset for refugees. This is a place that their lives are changing from here. This place is a center that their future is bright. A single dollar, that if someone is donating $1, when you go to Dollar Tree, by $1, you will buy a toothpaste. That toothpaste is a big help for that refugee. Maybe that toothpaste is enough for 2 weeks for a single person or for a family. If someone is donating $20, maybe it is a $20 for the person who is donating. But for a refugee family, $20 is 1 month hygiene stuff. Toothpaste, laundry detergent, dish detergent, soap, shampoo. You can buy from a Dollar Tree, which is a month for them. That thing is changing their life. If someone is donating their time to them like a volunteer, you are giving a path to them. You are telling them, you are giving them and showing them a new way. You are showing them that what is life in United States and what exactly life means. Then they will say, oh my God, life is so beautiful. We were in a darkness, now we are in a brightness. Now we know what is life. So donating everything, whether it is your money, whether it is your time, or you're showing something, everything, it will change the refugee's life. And if it is changing refugee's life, it doesn't mean it is only changing refugee's life. It is changing the society. It's changing the community.
John will be one of the special guests at our Crossing Bridges event on January 18th, so I invite you to come and hear more from what he has to say and just receive that beautiful message that reminds all of us that every little bit we do to create home and welcome holding love for the people in our community makes so much more difference than we realize. I invite our ushers to please come forward. Our offering will now be received. As our ushers bring our offering gifts forward, I invite us to join together in the collective blessing of our offering this morning. We bless these gifts so freely given. May generosity always be our companion as we walk the holy path toward ever greater compassion and beauty. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. We tell stories all the time. All the time. Stories make up our entire lives. We tell stories about our childhoods, our families, our kids, our community, this community, the state of our country. Some of our stories are really big and shared by many, like stories about our culture, or religion, or identity. Some stories are very particular to our own individual lives and families. Some are reinforced by society and culture. And sometimes those stories contain a lot of facts about our lives and the world that we inhabit, but they also contain a lot of our own creative interpretation. And there's no judgment there, because our stories are how we help ourselves understand the world and the place we're in, and they have a powerful effect on the choices we make. Who would you be without your story? Stories shape our lives. But our stories can also limit us if we invest too much in making them the truth of our lives. They can turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy, an endless cycle that keeps us stuck or in a cage like the tiger. Indeed, who hasn't felt stuck in a cage or controlled by their own story? Stuck in that story of not being good enough or beautiful enough or powerful enough. Hopeless about the way our story will end up. Our stories write us as much as we write them. Consider this wonderful children's story, some of you might know it, called Pout Pout Fish by Deborah Deason. It begins like this. Deep in the water where the fish hang out lives a glum, gloomy swimmer with an ever-present pout. You see, pout fish spreads the dreary wearies. He understands himself as a pouter. Because you see, he was just born that way according to his story. It's just the way I am, he says. He cannot be convinced by his underwater sea friends that he could be anything different. Being glum is his destiny. His story is set. It defines him for eternity. Are there any stories that define you? What stories are you telling about your life and your destiny? Back in 2022, after the worst of the pandemic shutdown, a cancer diagnosis, my child coming out as trans, my husband's chronic health issues materializing, I got stuck in a story. In the story of my life of hard things, hard thing after hard thing, and it pulled me under. And I kept fighting it. I kept trying to swim against the current, saying it's not that bad, it's not that much, but it was too much. It was like there was a leak in the dam, and I just kept trying to fix it by holding my hand right there against the crack, but that water pressure builds up, and eventually the dam cracks and water rushes out, and the only way to really handle it is to let go and try to float with the current. And I'm not going to stand here and tell you that all you need to do is write a different story for your life or a new chapter, and poof, your life magically turns around. No more dreary wearies. I do some days wish it worked like that. Sometimes the dreary wearies are about an honest telling of the story. It wasn't until a spiritual director encouraged me to write it all out like a timeline, to really take stock of everything that happened and in the short time frame in which it all occurred. And when she first suggested it to me, I said, nope, I'm not doing that. And I said that because I wasn't ready, and I knew that. I said, it will break me. I knew myself well enough. Eventually, I was able to complete the exercise, and that is when the dam broke. And I had no choice but to ride the waves for a while. The waves of grief and anger and fear and doubt. The waves of total exhaustion. The waves of rupture and breakdown in all of my ways of being and relationships. In order for me to even begin to imagine the next chapter, I had to sit in those waves for a while, in the deep pain and truth of the story I was in. And I still have to do that from time to time. Remembering that story is, in fact, a part of my life that informs the narrative of what is to come. As many great authors will tell us, it is the complexity of a character and the conflict and the scars that make the story interesting, not the happy ending. So I am learning that writing my way out of a stuck story, writing the next chapter, is not about writing the utter fantasy of my life, although that can be a very instructive exercise. But writing the next chapter is about taking stock, honoring the truth of life and experience, the weight of it all, the ugly mess, the pain. It is also about remembering where there was joy and beauty and love, so we can find ways to bring more of that into whatever comes next. Because I am aware that the next chapter is going to be bumpy. It will not be without pain and frustration. It will not be without fear and uncertainty. That is a foregone conclusion as far as I'm concerned. I am not the author of that plot line, but I am the author of my response to it. So my next chapter will help me discover how to best exist and work and hopefully flourish in that conflict, how to invite healing and resilience. As I begin to craft or outline my next chapter, I'm asking questions like, what do I want more of in this life? What brings me joy? Where do I find beauty or courage? How can I commit to hope? Where is healing most needed? Who are my lions? Because life has taught me that my hope is an orientation that must be grounded in reality. My friend C.B. Beale says there are things about this next year that will be less bad and painful, surprising, traumatizing, or injurious than last year. And there will be other things that will be worse. And there will be moments of joy, and we deserve and are free to seek and claim that joy. And I know that in order to navigate the next few years, I will need to cultivate not only joy, but a lot of compassion and a lot of self-love. And we will all need to learn to lean on each other and on community. We will need spaces of refuge and solace, of comfort and support, spaces of sanctuary. As we begin to write our next chapter, considering what might be coming down the road and preparing ourselves the best way we know how, we might also ask, what do we need to let go of to ensure we have room for hope and healing, for joy and strength, for courage and resistance? I know we can do it together. We can be lions for each other. Let's get writing. Amen.
Our reading this morning is The Invitation by Uriah Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine and your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine and your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful. Be realistic, remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless, therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back.
Thank you, Patricia. Sometimes we need intentional moments and actions to give ourselves the time and spaciousness and permission to begin writing the next chapter. I don't know about you, but I can't just say the magic words, I now have to let go of shame, or I now have to let go of feeling like I failed in that moment. I have to carve out time for reflection, to be present to myself, to the Spirit, to God, to the holy, And creating that space, that presence in ritual is a powerful tool to access those deeper truths, those stories of our hearts, waiting to be unlocked. And we acknowledge this wisdom as a community by offering regular rituals throughout the year that invite us into that kind of reflection and connection to self, to love, to all that is. Our fire communion this year is about writing the next chapter and letting go of what we no longer need to hold on to in order to make room for the next part of our story to unfold. So before we begin this ritual together, I wanted to offer up a time of meditation and reflection to help us listen to our story and discern that which needs releasing or letting go. So I'll invite our ushers to pass around our flash paper. You should have pens or pencils in the seat back pockets. And while the next song plays, I invite you to just reflect what it is you wish to let go of as we enter into this new year. If you want to write it on your paper while the song plays, great, feel free, but we'll create a quiet, reflective space for this moment.
All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything when you got no one to tell them to. It's true that I was made for you. I climbed across the mountain tops. I swam all across the ocean blue. I crossed all the lines and I broke all the rules. But I broke them all for you. 'Cause even when I was flat broke, you made me feel like $1,000,000. You do. I was made for you. You see the smile that's on my mouth. It's hiding the words that won't come out. And all of my friends who think I'm blessed, they don't know my head's a mess. No, they don't know who I really am. And they don't know what I've been through like you do. No, I was made for you. All of these lines across my face, they tell you the story of who I am. So
Letting go, even when we might be clinging and grasping, doesn't have to be mournful. It can be joyful and regenerative, like this ritual we're about to do together, because ultimately, letting go makes room. Room for healing, for forgiveness, room for your wise, divine inner self, room for presence, for God, for love, room for whatever comes next, for whatever it is you need, even if you don't quite know what that is yet. Letting go makes room for all of it to arise. So from the sacred fire of our chalice, we'll light the flames for our annual fire communion ritual and release that which no longer serves us, that from which we are ready to detach, to make room. When you are ready, you'll be invited. You can come on up here, come on up through maybe the side aisles, and we can go back through the center aisle and light your flash paper. Now your flash paper, chalice is almost gone, there we go. Your flash paper burns very quickly. You all know who've done this before. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It does help if you kind of give it a little flick in the air to give it the oxygen it needs to burn up. If you freak out, you can just drop it right here in the box. Don't worry, the greens are fresh and they've been sprayed with flame retardant. We are not above taking precautions here. So you'll just come forward, okay? With your paper, you'll light the corner, let it go, voila. Fire and air, eat it up. So let's have some fun and release what no longer serves us, making space for what needs to arise together with this fire communion ritual. Big Bill demo, yes? Bill's very, very calm about it. And that's perfectly good too, Laura.
The pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it
joyful experience to release together, lighting things on fire together, watching everybody's smiles and nervousness is beautiful. I love it so very much. Happy New Year. May all that you released into the flame, truly let it go. And I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer and meditation. Our prayer today are words adapted from Ann Tyndall. This morning, I walked the dog up the street. It was a perfect winter's morning. An icy breeze was blowing. Clouds were gathered in the sky. As the sun rose, the gray-white sky turned to rosy smoke. The sun finally appeared in the east. Nothing extraordinary, but the moment offered a blessing on the new day. Such blessings have been given daily for more millions of years than we can ever imagine. Spirit of life and love, let us be reminded that what will get us through times of rapid change, hard times, times of uncertainty, dangerous times, will be our ability to be blessed and fed by abiding things. The manifold blessings of the sun rising in the morning, the song of a bird heard as if for the first time, the stillness of the night, the smile of a baby offered to you as if she had been waiting for you, the faithfulness of lovers and friends, the hand outstretched in reconciliation, trembling, touching through the barriers of estrangement, healing again and again, the persistence of love, the persistence of love, the persistence of love. In this new year, may you know more blessings than curses. May your hand reach out more than clench. May you be claimed more by love than indifference, more by hope than fear or cynicism. May the creative power rise up in you, grounding you and guiding you to the border of what is yet possible for you, those close to you, and the world. In the name of all that is holy, we pray. Amen. We close our fire communion ritual with the song Fire of Commitment. This hymn feels like a charge that pulses in your blood, reminding us that we all possess that inner fire, a unique call in life that we are invited to tend and share with others in this world. And that's what today has been about. What inner fire must you tend now and share that you have made space for it? What gifts can you offer that will foster wholeness, healing, and transformation? What commitments must we make as Unitarian Universalists to bring more hope, more justice, more courageous love into the world? I invite us all to rise, embody your spirit, and sing into those ideals with hymn number 1028 in the Teal hymnal, words on the screen, Fire of Commitment. to place your hands over your hearts for our closing blessing. Go forth in this new year, blessed by the sacred fire of this community, releasing and letting go that which no longer serves you, all of that keeps you from your truest self and our highest good, making room for the next chapter, for justice and compassion, for community and sanctuary, for the work of love at the center. Blessed are we all. Go in peace.